Welcome back to your meditation, everybody. This is your time now to connect with your internal guidance called your intuition. Take a couple deep breaths in. If you need to pause this video, no problem. This is group 1, this is group 2, and this is group 3. You might be drawn to more than one. There might be 2 messages for you. Just remember, only take what resonates. And what I mean by that, only take what feels right to you. For my group number 1s, you have Kuan Yin. Group number 2, you have this beautiful black stone. I forget what it's called at this moment, but I'll get back to you guys during the video. Then you have the witch's finger, which is basically a quartz crystal. And let's begin. Hello, these are for my group 1s. Welcome and welcome back to those who have been following me from the beginning. Hello. So this is for the period of October 25th, and it goes up to the next 2 weeks like usual. We're going to go with the usual format. You're going to have your archetype of the next few weeks, what you need to know, where is it all going, and then you have a message from the oracle cards. You guys chose Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is one of the goddesses of extreme compassion, unconditional love. To me, this says that you are or in need of it at the moment. You kind of feel lost. You kind of feel, I don't know, I'm getting a sense of like left out for some reason. Just know that as soon as you start radically accepting the things that are happening, regardless of what they are, regardless on how atrocious they may be, you're like one step closer into moving forward and changing your life. It doesn't mean that you should not be seeking any kind of help, any kind of professional help if that's the case. But in my experience, as soon as I start radically accepting my situation, things I kind of just saw the things a little clearer. And that doesn't mean that you won't take a couple of steps back. But yeah, feel free to call upon her if you're someone who actually believes in invoking the different spirits, especially now we're getting very close in the veil that is very thin between the physical world, the 3D, and the energetic world. So the 5D, 4D. Yeah, so if you want to invoke any of this, maybe you're someone who needs compassion. You need to have compassion for other people around you. And my cedar over here has lit up and is smoking away. You might or might not see it in my camera. But yeah, you probably need to cleanse your energetic field, your office space or your room or wherever you're more often at. And compassion is something that we need at the moment. All of us, we need it, right? There's just so much going on. So with that said, let's go right away to your archetype. So your archetype is hope. I'm going to read these upright this time around because most of them don't honor it. None of them honor it, actually. And I've been just getting the message to just read them upright. So hope is the star card. It's also one of the in numerology, it also is considered as 7 + 1, 8. And to me, it's like the abundance card. So I feel like there's a lot coming your way. And for the next 2 weeks, there is basically what the card is saying, a lot of hope. I'm getting a sense also like there's hopes and dreams. You have been working really hard. You've been putting in the work, whether it's energetically, physically, mentally, whatever it is. You've been upping your game And this is kind of like a confirmation card. You basically have it in the bag, if that's a good metaphor to use. It's, you have nothing to worry about. Now, that doesn't mean that you should stop all your efforts and that you should stop your meditation, or if you've been working on manifestation, if you've been working on your mindset or not, that doesn't mean that you need to stop. It just means keep going, that the finish line is like right there. I would even suggest to up your embodiment game, so your visualization. If you know something about visualization, it's basically you visualize your future self, but the way you desire it to have. And this visualization is very important for you to really feel the emotions. It's not enough just to think about something. Your whole body needs to be completely sucked in to the whole experience. Super important. Your thoughts are basically what broadcasts the transmission, if you want to put it, but it's your emotions that actually bring it back in. So in the world of energies, whatever you say or think is very important, but how you feel, whether you have your situation, whether you have your dreams, I don't want to say it's more important. It's a piece of the puzzle, but it's a huge piece of the puzzle. With this card, I'm getting the message that you need to just step up the visualization game, but step it up by using your whole emotions and using your whole body, like getting your body into the whole feeling good of it. I would even say to go to the point, and I'm going to be posting this week. I think that's going to be one of my first meditation videos that I'm going to post. I'm going to post the meditation of seeing your future self, but it's seeing your future self with the reassurance that it's already done. I'm not explaining it very well, but basically it's just a visualization of where you go into the past and you talk to the past self, and then you have the future self come to you and talk to you like you did your past self. You understand? It's a very empowering visualization, and it's something that I would invite you to do. Try it out. Get into that meditative state. If you're not somebody who knows how to do that, put on some earphones, listen to a guided meditation or just some sound baths, and talk to yourself from the past and talk to them and tell them how far you've come and how much you've achieved. Or you can even just talk about your dreams together. Maybe they'll give you an insight of what you're looking for if you're not even there yet. And then have the future self come to you. You can even have your present self talk to your future self by talking about all the incredible dreams that you have, and just hyping your younger self up. And the same, have your future self come to you, and then from there have them talk to you like you just did. It's a very interesting visualization. But yes, so the next 2 weeks, your overall energy for the next 2 weeks is hope. And that's where I was getting at also. It's not enough to visualize and hope for my manifestation. I would even push this a little more and say, have faith even when you don't see it happening. That's what faith really is when it's not happening, you don't lose that faith. You are convinced that the universe is by your side. You're convinced that the angels are there to back you up, your angels, your guides, whichever ascending masters you're working with, that they are there and that they're working their magic. That this delay could just be a lag period because you've been processing and you've been feeling a certain way that attracted certain things. So there's like a lag period. Faith is when nothing is happening, but you still believe. And I feel like that's the overall big message for you for the next 2 weeks. There's going to be moments, going to be times where you will not feel like things are happening. And it's for you to believe in the universe, you to believe in yourself, you to believe that you are a part and interconnected, and that you are just as worthy and just as deserving as anybody else. At the end of the day, is who feels more worthy than, not than the other. There's no comparison here, but how worthy do you feel? And are you able to trust that you do deserve everything you desire? And are you willing to take the inspired actions, the steps that you feel called to do, called on doing, right? Because manifestation, it's I believe it's more than just sitting around and letting things come. It's getting inspired, and this inspired action is what you're calling in for the steps forward, right? Recap, whatever you're dreaming of, this is like a confirmation it's happening. There might be some lag period, but it's only to test your faith. How much do you really believe you deserve all this? How much do you really believe that this is happening, even when things doesn't seem like it's happening, right? Let's see your tarot. The High Priestess. Okay, first I want to talk about the High Priestess over here. So the High Priestess, to me, is like a confirmation, once again, from the whole card, that you have been working on yourself. There's a deep ingrained like self-care and self-work that you've been finally doing, and it's blossoming. You are coming to yourself almost. And what we need to know is that there's still some work to be done. The Three of Coins is all about the apprenticeship. So if you have been entering some kind of High Priestess academy of some sort, or learning to become a High Priestess, this is your confirmation that you need to continue if you had any doubts. And for some of you, it's really going to be to continue working on yourself. You guys are most of you are very into this whole spirituality and are growing so much, but I feel like there's like a lack of faith. There is like something that you're feeling that almost like doubts are creeping in, but it's just a question of just practicing. Continue the practice, meditate, ground yourself, do the practice that you've been doing to reconnect with yourself specifically. For some of you, there's kids involved. I say that because we have the skeleton over here, and I feel like for some of you, oh, interesting. For some, before I get to the whole like kid aspects, for some of you, it's the inner child. Right now, I'm seeing this kid, and it looks like a mirror. To me, this looks like a mirror, and you're looking at yourself, and you're not okay. The blockage over here, I see a blockage over here. The blockage that's kind of like holding you back, and you're like, oh, I'm feeling maybe a little stuck in this area, and this is where the doubts are kind of creeping in. You still have inner child work, a lot of inner child work. That's where I'm feeling this is where the work needs to be done. You're doing a lot of work, but it needs to be turned over to, and that would explain also the vision that I had before. So yeah, it's you need to look at yourself in the mirror, and if you can visualize the younger version of you and have a conversation with them, I feel like it's going to help so much with everything that's going on with your spiritual evolution. It has something to do with money. Like the blockage is probably what you've seen at a younger age in regarding money. Were you someone who saw their parents struggle with money, repeatedly say these words like, money doesn't grow on trees, you have to work hard for your money? I feel like this is where the blockage is, and this is where your doubts are creeping in, because you're like, I've been doing all this, I've been working hard, and I still don't have my dreams or visualizations come to fruition. And I feel like there's still a lot of limiting beliefs in regards to in regards to what you've witnessed as a child that still needs to be done. We're definitely entering Scorpio season, right? A lot of deep diving. Where this is all going For those of you who have children and are afraid that you will not be able to provide them with the material or the monetary things that you absolutely want to provide them with, I would say there's help all around you. It's just a question of being open to it. But also know that this is the best time to actually be innovative. When you feel like there's no hope or there's no other way, your brain, if you actually trust yourself and you believe in yourself, your brain will go into overdrive to actually find solutions. Really, it's really just about how you ask or what you say about the situation. So let's say, for example, you say, I can't afford that. Instead of saying, I can't afford that, try saying, how can I afford that? It's a completely different way of seeing a situation, because one limits you completely. It just limits you. It stops you in your tracks. I cannot afford this. The other one is giving you and opening you up to possibilities. How can I afford that? I know I can. How can I? How can I find the solutions? And that's the beauty, because your brain really doesn't know the difference between, right or wrong. It goes on problem solving, or it goes on the complete opposite, which is victimizing and judging. So it's really just a question of changing the language. So important. I will not stress this enough. It's so important. Your brain is an incredible tool, and it can work for you or it can work against you. You decide. It's really you who decides. And yes, there are some people that probably have other kinds of chemical imbalance or hormonal imbalance, but we're not talking about this right now. And if you feel like that's something that resonates with you, that there's something just not right, then definitely go see a professional. Very important. That's why we have professionals, right? But for most of you watching, it's really just a mindset. And a mindset can be changed. It will take a bit of time, because you've hardwired your brain so strongly to one way of looking at the world. Now, where this is all going, you have the 9 of Swords, the 4 of Cups, and then you have the 9 of Rods, which would be the Wands. All the work that you're doing is opening you up to possibilities. And again, it just goes back to, like, I feel like for some of you, you're like, oh, but I'm in the job. I don't like my job. But there's nothing else I can do. The 4 Cups over here is saying that there is opportunities, and the universe is giving you opportunities. You're just stuck on the mindset where there's no other options. The 4 of Cups, the original one, is really about a cloud handing this person a cup, a cloud, right? Something that is just unimaginable, something that you don't think would ever happen in real life. But this person is so absorbed by the 3 cups that he has in front of him, and dissatisfaction that he does not see this cup being offered to him. This incredible cup, like, something magical is happening right in front of his eyes, and he's not able to see it. And this comes back to the mindset. This comes back to, I don't like my job, for example. These are just examples. I don't like my job, and there's nothing I could do. Or I don't like my job, but I have no choice. Again, very limiting. It's very hard to jump over that kind of mindset. But if you say, okay, I am not happy here, but what can I do and where can I go that will make me happy? Or what else does the world have to offer that will get me this kind of money or satisfaction or whatever you're looking for? Because the universe has been giving you opportunities, but you're just blocking them. And I think it has to do with, one, your mental, which we already explained. The 9 of Swords is all about someone not being able to sleep at night. So you're keeping yourself awake with, whether it's the turmoil, whether it's the limiting beliefs. You're limiting yourself into the new opportunities that are available to you. And I'm almost feeling like you're someone who's already been doing the work. You already started doing the work, and it's like a push and pull, right? You take a step forward, but you take a couple of steps back. So take 2-3 steps forward, but you take 2-3 steps back, or maybe 4 steps back or 5 steps back. Just remember, you're always moving forward. And I'm really feeling like for some of you, like for most of you, you feel like you're at war with yourself. Like there's two people inside you. One that wants to move forward, and the other one that is petrified and scared moving forward. And you're at the final kind of battle. And I think this is where hope comes into play. And this is where the next 2 weeks is super important, that you believe in yourself. You believe that the universe has your back. And this is going to take time. And I really feel like the next 2 weeks is going to be really hard, just because it's like the final countdown. It's that final battle, that final push where, you know, that tipping point where everything else just ends up falling into play. But you need to push yourself that extra mile so you can get to that tipping point. That's where you are right now. That's what I'm feeling. All the work that you've been putting in, the self-love, the self-care, all the fears in regards to whether you have kids or not, or all the stuff that happened to you as a child. You are now rewiring your brain for your dreams, for your evolution. And I think this is where Kuan Yin is really here to tell you, or to call upon her, and to have just impeccable like compassion for yourself, as much as you might need it for other people, but really for yourself. Forgive yourself. Even if, let's say, you were not very nice to someone, you forgiving yourself will ultimately soothe and heal whatever karmic ties you would have created. I have like a love, like an understanding, but I've been starting to see karma slightly differently lately. So call upon Kuan Yin, or if you don't know who she is, do some research. She is the ultimate goddess of love and compassion, unconditional love and compassion. She's a beautiful energy to work with. I do Reiki Karuna, and it's dedicated to the energy of Kuan Yin. It's beautiful. It's such a gentle but such a powerful Reiki meditation, energy work, whatever you want to call it. So yes, I think that's your message for today. There's a lot of information. I'm so happy that you joined me today. Let me know if any of this resonated. I absolutely love to just connect with you guys down in the comment section. If there's anything, if you have any questions, if you want me to pull a specific card for you, of one single card, I'll be more than happy to do it. There's a bit of Reiki energy embedded in these. You can claim it by stating and asking, I accept this Reiki energy that was sent to me by Katarina Lukin. You can even add a security, because I do feel like in these times it's very important to protect your energy. You can add only through my guides, and if it's for the greater good of me and for all. And that's it. That's all, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. My group ones, you got this. Have faith, have hope. This is your time, actually. Like the next 2 weeks is your moment to have radical acceptance and radical faith, unconditional faith. Thank you so much. Ciao. Hey guys, I almost forgot your oracle message, which is loving all that is. Number 22. That's a master number. Do look into it. Do some research. See how it resonates with you. I'm going to read from the book. So this oracle brings you a sweet message. You are just asked to love. Everything else will take care of itself. Oh, wow. That is amazing. That is the message. You're asked just to love. Everything else will take care of itself. I'll read you. This is like the oracle message, but let me read you the little paragraph before. You wise, awakened being, you can love all that is. You can love your tears and your sadness, for they are a testament to your open heart. You can love your numbness and fatigue, for they show that you have worked hard and are now in need of rest. You can love your energy and passion. Even when you are so far ahead of the pack, you have to wait a while for everyone else to catch up. This is all the work that you've been doing, guys. Maybe a day, maybe a decade or so, because you choose not to curb your enthusiasm for anyone. You can love your anger because underneath its fire is a desire for respect. And you can love your peacefulness because within your heart, you really don't have much for fighting something sometimes. If there is something that is shaming you, worrying you, challenging you, it's okay. It's okay just to love. It's okay to just love. It will make sense when it needs to. Until then, just love it, even when it hurts, for it's part of your own divine nature awakening. It may just be like a painful cramp happening because it's been curled up for too long. This oracle brings you a sweet message once again. You are just asked to love. Everything else will take care of itself. I could not have picked a better card. You cannot. Energy doesn't lie, guys. So this was your message for today. This card just sums everything up perfectly. You are just meant to love. Okay? Kuan Yin is by your side. You just need to ask for her guidance and her love and see what happens. Ciao. Hello, my darlings. These are for my group Tooth. Welcome. This is starting October 25th up until the next 2 weeks. As usual, I do an archetype for the next 2 weeks. Starting from whenever you watch this, there's no boundaries when it comes to energy. So whenever you're watching this, it's just from when you watch it up until next 2 weeks. So I do an archetype and then I read what we need to know, where is it all going, and then you have an oracle message. You have chosen the Urjurin. I don't know how to say that in English. It's a protective stone, specifically for psychic attacks. You probably have been feeling big headaches or unease. You've been probably picking up a lot of energy, and this could be due to just someone maybe talking about you, thinking not very kindly, and you're probably getting an psychic attack like that. Remember, everything is energy, so thoughts, words, emotions, especially if they directed to a specific thing or person, could be very powerful. But this could only happen if you allow it to, if you have not learned how to ground yourself or to protect your energy by just shifting and elevating your energetic field. So you can do this by through dancing. You can do this through singing too. This releases the throat. This releases the throat chakra, which is a big energetic point in our body. Through meditation, you can visualize a beautiful white light around you every morning and every night. There is a beautiful prayer that I used to use, and it helped me so much through hard times. It was called the Violet Flame. It's a small little prayer. It's beautiful. You can find it online. You can grab a stone too. A stone like this will help you protect. Any black stone really will help. This one is the frequency is a lot higher. If you're able to find one, great. If you're in Montreal, I know there's a place in Chateauguay that has a stone. It's about $10. But I've had confirmation that it does work very well. yeah, I'm sensing also that you really need to learn how to ground yourself. That's something that's extremely important, that some of you are actually doing Reiki or some kind of energy work, and it's very important to take that energy and to shift it and to ground it so it can be transmuted and transformed with the energies of Mother Earth. So that's the message from the stone. We're going to start with your archetype. Rest and rejuvenation. Okay, this is your, okay, beautiful. It is time. You're someone who's been working very hard. You've been someone who's been just, I'm getting a sense of like just rushing and doing and doing all kinds for everybody, and including yourself too. I feel like you guys have businesses, soul entrepreneurs, but eventually, if you don't rest, the universe will give you no choice but to rest, right? So the four of, technically this will be the swords, as you can see, is really someone just meditating, coming back into vibration and frequency. And this is your archetype, this is the overall energy for the next 2 weeks. So it'll be very important for you to really rest and rejuve. Go to a spa if you can. It's one of my favorite places to just regenerate. If you have access, or even if you go with a group, you can go carpooling. But what's beautiful about the spa is that there's so many things going on. And if you guys are able to go, if you're going with people that, have great communication, it's easy to just be like, okay, 1 hour to ourselves or 2 hours to ourselves. And at the last hour, we can get together and just connect, go to the bistro. But if you're able to just organize something, do it. So important. I feel like you guys really need to be alone too. You guys are always surrounded by so many people, and it's really, 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 really time for you to just take a couple of days, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, a weekend. It's just super important for you right now. Let's see what your cards have to say. Ooh, the Star card. This was in my group ones. But in a couple of readings where I am not reading the reversals on this reading, just because they don't really honor it. And I just have been called to read it upright. So the Star card, wow. You have 3 major arcanas. It's good. Whatever work you've been doing that you need rest for, stuff are happening, stuff are shifting. You also have the 8 of Wands, which is all about movement. It's if you do not rest right now, I feel like you're going to be fucked for what's to come. Like, it's super important for you to find that moment of rest, even if it's just 15, 20, 30 minutes a day, or half a day, whatever it is, you're really going to need it, because what's coming is going to happen very quickly. You have the Star card, so that's the Hope card. This is the card of wishes almost come true. So if you have any desires, it's time to put them out there, and it's almost guaranteed that they will come back. You also have the Hermit card, which is really just another confirmation. So what we need to know, you've been working very hard on your dreams. You've been on overdrive to the point where you need rest. Ooh, okay, interesting. This rest, if you do not take it to really see the overview, I feel like you really need to rest also just to see the bigger picture. There's someone in your life that might just sabotage everything. Now, it could be someone, or it could be you. You might self-sabotage because you need the rest, and something's going to happen, and you're going to create this necessary rest, but it's not going to be in a way that's going to move you forward. It's going to be in a way that will kind of sabotage, at least for a little while, your hopes and dreams. Okay? Like I said, if you do not take this rest, there's going to be a forced rest, a forced looking within. And for those that that end up not seeing the bigger picture. And it's a particular person that might just come to mettre des bâtons dans la roue. It's going to really affect you to the point where you will need to kind of, like, I'm getting right now, you're people who do not victimize themselves. You're people who always take accountability. And this is gonna really push you to take accountability and be like, how did I allow this situation to happen? How did I manage to put myself in this position or not see the bigger picture? So whatever you end up doing, even if you don't end up taking the rest, you will find time to do the introspecting to actually move forward, because there will be a moving forward. Where this is all going is, yeah, once these major events in your life, like, to me, I see this as something big happening. There's going to be really something big where it's going to force you to go within. And I feel like this resting period, I feel like you already know what I'm talking about. I feel like there's someone or something that's been just there that made you kind of rethink life, rethink where you're going. And now you kind of feel like you need to do that again. Now, you can do it the hard way, or you could make the decision and do it yourself. Kind of create that moment where you take a rest and you see that bigger picture, and the crash won't be as hard. Oh yeah, whoever this is, or whatever you're doing, or whatever you will do in terms of self-sabotaging, you are completely blinded to it. Whether it's someone, you are completely blinded. You have the Eight of Swords. It's that woman that's blindfolded and has the swords behind her. But just know this needs to happen, because the Death card over here to me represents the death of the old self, or maybe the death of this situation. I feel like once you see this introspecting, you're going to see, if you take the time for yourself, you'll see the bigger picture. You'll voluntarily go within, voluntarily put yourself away from the situation so you can see. Things are going to move very quickly. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. Things are just going to move very quickly. And if you've done the work, and if you're open to all possibilities, I feel like some of you really just need to open to seeing really the truth, really seeing just the truth of the matter, whether you're self-sabotaging yourself or there's somebody that's been sabotaging you. And it's time to take off that blind and everything that's happening so quickly, whether it's self-created or not, because this could be also, if you're self-sabotaging, things are going to go quickly, but in a way that you did not want it to go, if that makes sense. But it's really time to take the blindfold off and really be in the seat of the driver's seat and start moving forward. But for this, it's going to require a death of the old, the death of the old self, the disbeliefs, the victimizing, the blaming, the pointing the fingers. And even if you've done the work, this to me just confirms there's still a little bit of work to do. Yeah, because this one was in reverse too. You will be taking off the blinders, because I feel like you're in a state where you're just fed up, or you're in a state where you're moving so quickly towards the dreams that you don't want anything or anybody stopping you. And there's nothing wrong with that also. That could be one of the things that is stopping you. You self-sabotaging yourself towards your dreams. And this is what's ending, is like the disbeliefs and the doubts. Yes, for some, like honestly, for a big part of you, all the doubts that you've had of yourself are now putting to rest. Like there's a huge limiting belief that has been stopping you, and this rest that you will hopefully, if it's not you, something else, but you will take the inner journey and you will realize, oh wow, this limiting belief is still in my frequency. I need to deal with that. I need to face that. And this is what's going to propel you. It's going to move you forward and propel you to a whole other level. Because death is just another way of rebirth. Like you're going to rebirth into this new version of yourself. And like, I'm already getting all kinds of chills just talking about it, because it's just gonna be so powerful. Like, you know who you are, and you know where you're going at this point. You already know it, but you've been sabotaging, you've been self-sabotaging, you've been letting others sabotage maybe, but I really right now at this very moment feeling that it was a self-sabotage. And you've been working so hard on getting rid of all these limiting beliefs that you will end up doing the last bit of work that's going to propel you, that's going to allow you to take the blindfold off, sit in the driver's seat, and just move forward and move towards your rebirth. Ugh, so much smoke right now. Now, your message for your oracle message is let the feminine lead the way. Wow, that's beautiful. I like that for you very much. I'll read just everything because Alana Fairchild is just amazing with her descriptions and her cards. The feminine principle in you, whether man or woman, is the way forward in your life now. She is a principle of feeling and surrender. She feels the intelligence of the divine guiding light in a way that the masculine principle cannot at this time. You may not see where you are going, therefore, but you can feel your way forward. Trust her. Let your mind go and let your senses lead you. Becoming more exquisite and communicative. Be led by your heart. Don't worry if you don't know all the details yet or how it is going to work. She knows the way. Let her lead. This oracle brings confirmation to you that what you have been feeling or sensing, even without any logical, physical evidence, is worth following up on. Trust your senses over appearances. Trust your intuition over your intellect. You are letting feminine wisdom guide you, and she will steer you in the best direction. And it just goes back to your dreams, the self-sabotaging, the internal work, and then the moving forward and the death and the you coming into your driver's seats. Whether you fully understand it or not, just seeing the bigger pictures and just allowing this intuitive side of you just move forward. You've been doing things illogically and more intuitively, and it's now more than ever the time to just move forward with it. My number 2s, this is your message for the next 2 weeks, for whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for joining me. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if this has resonated. Let me know if you have learned anything, if there is anything that you would like to share now or in the next 2 weeks. Let me know if you have any questions. That's it. Enjoy. There's Reiki energy embedded. Do claim it if you'd like by stating, I accept this Reiki energy sent to me by Katarina Lukin. Do protect your energy. We're just talking about that with your stone. And you can always say, only through my guides and only if it's right for me. Only if it's right for me, for my greater good and the greater good of all. These are little prayers or little statements you can say. Words are very powerful. Remember, that is it. Ciao. Hello, these are for my group 3s. Welcome, and this is your message for the next 2 weeks for whenever you're watching this. I'm recording this on October 25th. And the way I proceed is I do the overall energy for the next 2 weeks. I read what we need to know, where is it all going, and then you have a message from your oracle. You today have picked the Witch's Finger, which is a quartz. It's kind of like a geode. And this is like a confirmation that whatever you're doing, if you are doing any kind of psychic work or energy work of any kind, if you've been trying to tap into channeling of some sort, this is almost like a confirmation that you are getting closer. But I do feel like you need to protect yourself. Make sure you are protecting yourself when you're doing, your energy wise, when you are doing this kind of work. Very important. The witch's finger is really just that. It's the finger of the witch. So, or you are a witch, or if this is something that you are trying to embody, you have the power and the strength of the stone by your side at the moment. So do take it into consideration, or if you want to purchase one yourself, you can probably find one in your local area, stone shop, obviously. And yeah, it's a quartz crystal too. I would actually look it up and go and do a little more research. You might find even more information than I just provided right now. Let's do your overall energy, your archetype. So you got 2, yes, because you had the sacral chakra. And you have the 3 major arcana, fertility. It is representing the Empress card, and you have the sacral chakra. I just find it super interesting because the sacral chakra is all about the I want. So it's like the chakra of creation. It is where birth happens. It is where the inspiration happens. Some even say that the seat of the soul is in the sacral chakra. And I just find it just amazing that it's right next to the fertility, which is the Empress, which is the all-time abundance card. So for me, it's like, if you've been trying to get pregnant, this is your confirmation card that it is on its way. If you're not trying to get pregnant, maybe just watch out, because you might be very fertile right now. But this could also be the birth of a new idea. If you've been trying to just get more inspired and been working on a project or thinking of working on a project, this is the perfect moment, the perfect time for you to do so, because you are, as I said, the seed of your soul is with you. Like, you are being guided by your soul. So if you do have hunches for the next 2 weeks, listen to them. It's super important for you to listen to them, because something incredible is going to come from it. I feel like you guys have been some people who have been working on themselves very, very, very much, and have been kind of working on the whole manifestation game. If you know what that is, it's basically, you have to get rid of the limiting beliefs. You have to believe in yourself. You have to feel worthy. It's really like an emotional, feeling-based procedure, right? And I feel like you guys have been like really on top of that, and just working so hard. Like, I'm feeling this sense of bliss coming from you. To me, it's like a confirmation that you have been doing the work, and you're in that fertile point in your life where anything could happen. And it's just a question of just keep believing in yourself, keep doing your work, and you're going to have whatever your heart's desire is. All 3 groups, honestly, all 3 groups were all about dreams and people working on their dreams. And I love it, because so many people are actually starting to believe in themselves and feel worthy and doing the work, the internal work. And it's just a question of not giving up. You have 2 and 3 over here too. So it's like, oh, I got a sense of you're just missing the one. You're just missing that first step, or even that next step, right? It's you decide whether you're gonna go backwards or you're gonna go forwards at this point, okay? But I'm sensing that you're gonna go forward, and I feel like if you are looking for fertility or a man or of some sort, like this one person or thing, if it's a project, is on its way. It's like right there. What do we need to know? These don't honor the reversed. And I wasn't feeling called to actually read them in reverse. Ooh, you've had a heartbreak, or you're afraid of a heartbreak of some sort. Okay, so for some of you, you've walked away from something, or you're about to walk away from something. What we need to know is that you're about to walk away from something, or you need to walk away from something. Okay? It is very important for you to walk away at this moment from this person, this thing, the situation, whatever it is, because you have the Sun card. And the Sun card is like, kind of walk towards your light. That's the way I see it over here. The 8 of Cups is really about this person that is, walking away from these cups of his that no longer serve him, no longer replenish him. And it's just a question of moving forward into something better, moving along type of energy also. But for you to do this, you're going to need to learn how to ask for help. You're going to need to learn how to ask for guidance, how to ask for help, because at this moment, you might be in a weird predicament where you might not have, where you just will need to have help to get back on your feet. But I also feel like for some of you, you're going to have to, for some of you, it's you helping somebody else also. That somebody's working away and that you're going to lend a hand and help them out. There's going to be like a give and take. Don't believe that asking for help will limit you or make you look weak. On the contrary, I feel like by you asking for help, there's going to be a beautiful give and take energy, a beautiful exchange if you allow it to. I feel like it's really going to illuminate. You're going to feel more. There's something just happy about this give and take that's going to happen. It's just a question of making sure you ask for this help. And you can also make an exchange. Say, hey, listen, I'm walking away from this situation, this person, I need a little bit of help, but I see that you might need help with here. Let's make an exchange. If that just feels better for you. I feel like right now there's going to be beautiful exchanges with you and other people or situations where this exchange will happen and will be very profitable for both parties. It might be a new work, might be a new job. There might be someone working somewhere. And I'm getting the message also, like, if you are planning on leaving a work and entering a new one, like, ask yourself, what do you want to learn? Because sometimes learning is more precious than money itself. So if you're afraid that you're not going to get enough money and whatnot, just look at what you're going to learn at this new job or at this new place. It might give you exactly what you need. I feel like there's still a lot of contemplating and realizing what you do absolutely want. It goes back to this. You're very fertile moments in your life where things will happen and happen very quickly. But you need to be very clear on what you do want. But I do feel like as soon as you let go and as soon as you move forward, there's going to be a lot of light shining on your wants and desires. Where this is all going, and it's very interesting because you got the sun and you got the moon. So there's a lot of things that are going to be uncovered as soon as you move forward, or if you already have been moving forward, because like I said, there's like two groups of you. If you've already moved forward and you've already seen the light of some sort and you're already asking for help, you might be coaching, it might be, like I said, a new job or whatnot. And, like, if you have people that are working, ask them, like, oh, I'm going to need a new job. I'm going to need something that requires this, and this, and this. I'm sure if the people you talk to don't have that position, someone they know will. Where this is all going is going to be a new mindset. I feel like it's going to be crisp, it's going to be clear, you're going to be more focused. But there's still going to be a lot of things that are going to uncover, especially in regards to love or self-love, about your self-worth, or about just opening up your heart. I feel like whatever you're moving forward with, it closed off your heart, and now you have like this barricade in front. And yes, you're going to start a new life, you're going to start a new mindset, but you will need to uncover all this hurt and this pain and learn how to open up your heart. It's going to be super important. This is going to be one of your lessons, I'm sensing. But this is where this is going at. So you can already speed up the process right now and already learn how to keep your heart open and understand, what triggers you and what triggers your heart closing and opening. And from there, you can play around with that notion, right? Because the key to our desires really are an open heart. And that doesn't mean that you can't set boundaries, but I feel like it's less boundaries and more like to know where you begin and where you end and where the other person begins and where they ends, right? kind of coming back to self. This reopening up the heart will just help you find you again, if that makes sense. The sense of like the true who you are, the one that is based in pure love, unconditional love. And that doesn't mean that you are a pushover and people are walking all over you. Unconditional love starts with ourselves, right? If you love yourself unconditionally, you will not or will never allow anybody to do that ever again. And it's just a question of being assertive and using your integrity in that notion, in that sense. Does that make sense? So basically the overall energy is that you are in a fertile moment to have and to create and to manifest all kinds of stuff. And what we need to know is that yes, you're moving forward, but this is a great time for you to connect and reconnect with some people through asking for help and offering an exchange, right? Exchange of time, an exchange of money, an exchange of teachings, whatever that may be. And there's going to be so much positivity. There's going to be so much light shed. There's going to be so much sunshine. Your path will just blossom. Where this is all going is that it's going to be a new mindset. You're going to be more focused, but there's still going to be a lot of uncovering, a lot of hurts and pains that need to be kind of released and let go. But more importantly, you need to learn how to open up your heart. I feel like a big part of everything, the reason why you're leaving and the whole, like, whether it's a project that didn't really go the way as you hoped, is because you had closed off your heart. And this is due to probably subconscious limiting beliefs, maybe stuff that happened in your past that you just haven't made complete peace with, that just close off your heart little by little, and now it's like kind of chained up. Let me know if that makes sense. And it's just going to be, you can start it right away here because now you've been warned. So this can happen even quicker. You can just keep your heart open and let more light in, and this will allow you to shine more your light. And it's also helping you to like love yourself again, right? Opening up your heart allows you to love yourself even more, because once we start closing off, I've noticed anyways in my situation where you close off your heart, but then there's no more room for not even self-love, because you close it off. You say, oh, I need this is, gonna protect me. It's you think it's a defense mechanism. You think it's is self-love because now you're protecting yourself, but then it's almost like you've smothered yourself with pain and resentment because this energy has nowhere to go anymore. But you truly believe that is the best thing for yourself, and it's considered like a self-love, but in reality it's more like a fight or flight mode where your kind of old school brain is telling you, I need to protect myself because all that matters for me is my safety, that reptilian brain. But as soon as you're closed, there's not much energy going through there anymore. There's not even room for self-love, because now you're just immersed in fear and in doubt. And this is where it gets stuck in the subconscious. So we think it's the best thing. We think it's like a boundary, but in reality it's a defense mechanism, because our boundaries will never allow us to close our hearts, because it's just unproductive. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's unproductive because as soon as you close your heart, you're not even sending love to yourself anymore. And as I mentioned, closing the heart is usually due and because of fear. And these fears are usually derived from doubts. And if you're doubting, you're self-doubting. So there's no love there anymore. There's just pain and there's just fear. So if there's pain and fear, there's just no room for love anymore. And then I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I think you get it. And if you don't, let me know down below in the comment section. And your message, intimacy. How perfect is this card in regards to what I had just said? Whether it's intimacy with yourself or with someone else. Basically what needs to be worked on here. But let's read the book, because I love Elena Fairchild's description of her beautiful cards. So, your vulnerability is a key to your growing spirituality. What did I just say? Opening up your heart forces you to be vulnerable. It's one and the same. If you're vulnerable, you're keeping your heart open. And you're doing it out of love. You're not doing it out of fear anymore, right? Your vulnerability is a key to your growing spirituality. Now is the time to share yourself openly without pretense or defensiveness. Let down the barriers that have held you apart from another, from the divine, from the world, and let yourself be held by the experience of your life without needing to defend against them. Expect nothing and be open to receive everything. Your vulnerability is your way forward now. You are learning that you have enough strength to truly surrender. You are brave enough to allow yourself to be truly lived by the divine. The message of this oracle is that you have recently opened yourself up in new ways to meet the world and your loved ones, or are considering doing so in order to share something of yourself with another. Do it. You are ready to be seen and received more than ever before. You cannot make this up. This is the perfect card to sum up this reading. I could not have picked it better. I love energy. I could do this all day. I would. And honestly, like, cards are just one aspect, one thing. It's just part of how energy works. There's just so much more to it. It's beautiful. I hope this has resonated with you. Keep your heart open. It is time to just be vulnerable enough to allow your dreams in, to allow the creations in, to allow the connections in, to allow the light in. Stay focused on what you want, and you will receive everything if you remain open to them all, right? Thank you so much, my number threes. Let me know if this has resonated. Let me know if you have any questions. I love you so much. I will see you soon. There is Reiki energy embedded in these cards. You can request it by asking a request. I accept this Reiki energy sent to me by Katarina Lukin. You can up to the defense or just up the boundaries of the energetic world, since we've been talking about that and like psychic attacks in the last card readings. You can also just request that it comes through your guides and your higher self, and as long as it's for your greatest good and the greatest good of all as well. And that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. Love you, love you, love you. Have a great 2 weeks, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao.